Hey, Happy New Year. Do you have any plans for the new year? It sounds like an English lesson, doesn't it? Do you have any plans for the new year? New Year's resolutions? Alcohol? Just as I started videoing this, what is that? The time to go home, kids, has just come up. Must be 4 o'clock, 4:30, something like that. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you a few things about what I planned for the new year, for this coming year. I guess we're in 2026 when you view this. The thing is, we're all at different stages, so it's kind of a bit silly to say, well, what should you do for this year? I mean, if you're at the beginning stage, then have you begun? Make this year the year that you begin, the year that you do something independently. If not to set up your own school, then to at least start teaching as a self-employed teacher, even if it's part-time. Or is this the year that you finally go it alone? Is this the year that you've been doing this for a while and finally you're making it solvent, making enough money to keep going? I hope so. Or is it more like me? Like, this is the year that I'm trying to not make my business last forever, but how to put it? In my age, I'm 55 now. I'm sort of in the fourth stage of life, according to Mark Manson, the guy who did the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck book. He sort of outlines four phases of life. I mean, he's not the first one to think of this, but the first phase of life is mimicry, when you copy everything as a kid. Second phase is when you try to be independent and explore. That's sort of the teenage years. The third phase is stability years, when you settle down, get married, start a business. Or what's the final stage? Is the legacy. It's the legacy years, where you try to pass on what you've learnt to the next generation. Well, guess what? I guess I'm in the legacy years. Wasn't my choice, but here we are. I'm lucky to be here. So be it. So what that means for me, I'm rewriting a lot of my textbooks and updating everything, putting QR codes in them, taking the lessons that didn't work so well and cleaning them up and making them good. I haven't reviewed my books for about 10 years, some of my elementary school books that I've been using. I think the most recent is like 2017, so it's getting a bit long in the tooth. There's a lesson where I'm doing comparatives, like, as good as powerful as, more powerful than, and there's like Taylor Swift is in there. She's still, I suppose, relevant. But there's bloody Obama. I couldn't stand to put Trump in. Is Obama more powerful than Trump, than Taylor Swift? A completely bizarre question for year 6. Is that like 12-year-olds? 12-year-olds don't even know who Obama was. They barely know who Trump is. So, updated stuff like that. So now, I've got my books are a pretty good syllabus. They're just, some of the examples are didn't quite work. So that's what I've changed a lot, and I've slimmed it down. They did have 45 lessons in each book. I've now turned it down to 42 because that's how many lessons I teach a year. Weekly lessons, 42 weeks. So I just need 42 lessons. So got rid of 3 of the hokiest lessons and cleaned up the rest. I don't know, is that interesting to you guys? I don't know. But it's something that you can think about doing, when you've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for 20 bloody years now. 19 years? This will be the 19th year of teaching for myself. So, as you can see from the white of my beard, I guess I'm showing my age, I don't know. Will kids still use books? Do they still use teachers? Do they, I don't know. I think people still need a syllabus though, and still need materials, so that's what I've got. I'm updating all the books with QR codes to a lesson where I've got a video of me talking, or me and my wife talking, just sort of like teaching through the main points of each lesson. So if a kid misses the lesson, they can watch the video, or if they didn't understand it, they can watch it at home. We'll try it again, or the parents can see what we're up to. All valuable things. I think in reality people don't use it that much. We made all these videos in coronavirus times, 2020, so that kids could use them. And I look at my YouTube stat, and some videos have been watched 20 times. So by my students. So I don't think many people have been looking at them. Probably 10 of those have been me, just checking that everything was okay. However, it's updating stuff, and people can use it as they see fit. And if it's useful for one person, it might be useful for many, or I don't know. Anyway, that's a project I've been getting on with. So cleaning up my materials. Of interest to you maybe is I will be, once I've got all these materials cleaned up and made flashcards and various stuff, all the materials that you need to teach a lesson, I'm going to make it into a English school in a box and then sell that, so that you have all the materials you need to start your own English school from a box. All the books and everything that you could possibly need. That's a project, so it's kind of a legacy thing, of course. I'm trying to make it so that my school can be taken over by somebody else, maybe my daughter, maybe somebody else. I'm not that old, but I've got to think about the next phase of life, retirement, and replacing myself with a young, ginky English teacher who can then carry on, and I can be an advisor or take a more and more backseat role. That really appeals to me, and maybe use the school as a art gallery, something like that. But that's a few years away. Probably I've got another good 5 years of full-time work left in these bones. So it's a 5-year plan to wean myself off of teaching and get into something else that's more fun and maybe doesn't generate much money but is more enjoyable. That's my plan for the new year. But that, as I say, I'm in that phase of life. You may not be in this phase of life. If you're a lot younger, sorry, you got to keep going, keep digging, keep pedaling. But this time of year is a good time to think of what your goals are, and I like this time of year. It's all things are possible. They really are. But to make them possible, you have to know what it is that you want. So get thinking about what it is that you want, what you're prepared to do. Spend a few days, a week or two, maybe even a month, maybe even January thinking about it, and then get on with it. Do it, right? Don't just think about it. Make this the year of action. Okay, see you next week.